And we're live. Good morning, everybody. Nice to see you. I'm Carolyn, otherwise known as Admissions Mom to many of you. And I've got the amazing Carly here with me. And we're here to kind of help you guys get going on your personal essays. If you could drop in the chat a hello for us so we can know you're there and say hello and maybe say where you're from, that would be awesome. I'm in Colorado right now, but I'm usually live in Texas, and I'm happy to see you all. And how about Carly? You want to tell us about you a little bit?
I'm Carly. I'm from Portland, Oregon, or I'm living in Portland, Oregon. I'm originally from San Diego. I'm a communication student at Portland Community College. I am the owner of the Applied College Discord server where I've been talking about this a bit, so I know a few of you are from there. If you are from there, say hello and say you're from there. And yeah, I think I recognize one of you right now in the chat, actually. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, and I am Carolyn, like I said, otherwise known as Admissions Mom, and I'm also a private consultant helping kids apply to college, and I like to share everything that I help my private kids with my other students. Hello, Amen. I hope I said that correctly. And hello, Lena. Nice to see you. Hello, SV from A2C. Happy to see you all. So glad you all are all here and with us today. What I'm going to do is take anybody else want to drop in the chat and say hello. We'd love to hear from you and kind of know where you're from. We've got Eamon from Yemen. Thanks, Eamon. Oh, yay. Eamon says, yes, I pronounced it perfectly. That's awesome. Oh, good morning. Already in college. Popped in to say hi. I think I recognize you from last year, right, Mohit? So that's cool that you're here with us again. Thanks for saying hi. So good morning to those of you who are already in college that are dropping in to say hi. And good morning to those of you who are on your way to kind of like beginning to work on your personal essay. We are so happy that you're here today. Yeah, cool. I recognize your picture and your name, Mohit. So this is my first time doing this essay workshop on the live stream on YouTube and Twitch. If anybody's out there on Twitch, I don't know that. I usually do it on Zoom, and I have it all kind of arranged to do that. So it's just kind of like having to figure out a few little technical difficulties to make sure y'all can get the best experience possible testing it out. We might be moving back over to Zoom to do some more of these workshops later. And okay, thank you, Sven, from Southeast Asia. Cool. I'm glad you're here with us. Thank you. So what I'm going to do, if you all could just drop in the chat a quick minute to let me know, like, how far you are in your personal essay, if you've begun it, if you haven't begun it, if you're just starting, or if you're rethinking, I'd just kind of like to know where you are in the process. I'm going to be starting you from the beginning today, but it still kind of just helps me to know. Oh, let's see. So we've got Faiz here from the UAE. Good morning. Nice to see you, or good evening, maybe to you. So just drop in the chat real quick and let me know kind of what you're thinking, where you are in the process, how you're feeling about the process. Is it stressing you out? Is it not stressing you out? Are you feeling cool about it all? Okay, cool. Well, good job, Lena. We're going to really get you started today. Anybody else hasn't started yet? Finished first draft, but trying to make more with different topics. Yeah, that's a good idea, I think, to kind of get an idea of how you're going with it. And Sven? Yeah, thanks. Anybody else want to drop in about how you're feeling with it? Kabir from Wisco. He's written a draft with some revisions. All right. I'm done with my essay and the Common App. Currently working on my supplements. Well, cool. Well, maybe today you'll be able to get some feelings about how to work on your Common App if you want to. We'll definitely be doing another workshop on supplements a little bit later, Eamon, but I hope you get some good ideas here too today about how to work on that. So, all right, we are just gonna get beginning. And I'm going to throw up my little slideshow here. I put in the top, any of those of you who didn't get the resources, I'm going to be using them all today. Oh, I didn't mean to share that. I'm going to come back over here. But I did put up in the top of the chat a link to resources. I don't know if you can copy and paste it, but you don't really need them today because we're going to just be talking and I'm going to be walking you through them. I hope you're going to be able to see them okay. I know on Zoom you can, but I hope you're going to be able to see them okay today. So we're going to talk about the personal essay today. I'm going to try to get you started, but here's what I know. I read a lot of essays, and for those of you who attend this essay workshop, I will be doing, I'll do 5-minute free essay reviews for you, and I read up to 3, so just reach out to me and I'll show you how to do that already later to kind of like get in touch with me for the 5-minute essay review. But I read a lot of essays, and to me, that 5-minute essay is a really important technique because that's what the admissions officers are going to do. They're going to be looking at your essays for about 5 to 6 minutes, and you want it to hit me like you want it to hit them. So here's what I've learned in all the essays I've been doing over the last few years. I was a writing teacher before I became a college consultant for about 15 years. I was a teacher for 30 years. Actually, I was teaching writing the whole time. But the last 15 years, I was teaching the personal essay actually in college. And then I switched over to helping everybody with college admissions. And I started reading essays for Reddit kids, basically. So often the best essays I read come from the most mundane ideas. There is no magic formula, no perfect idea. And here's why. Because essay has to come from inside your head. It has to come from you, not from anyone else, just from you. And it's about inside you. So if you think of like that narrator version of your life in there, that's where you're going to like really make that connection with your reader. What's the point of the essay? I know you hear a lot of people talking about like how to stand out, how to stand out, how to stand out. It's kind of impossible. There are millions of kids applying to college. And, you're all 17 or 18 years old. You can't have that many different life experiences. Honestly, you do have very different life experiences. But again, there's nothing that you're going to do that's going to be completely unique. And kids get so stuck on wanting to be unique. It's kind of impossible. You all have good grades. You all have good test scores. You all do cool stuff. So what you want to focus on instead of standing out is to stick with. We have UVA Dean J, who's pretty active on A2C with us, but also on Twitter. And she wrote this comment on Twitter last year. I really liked it. I see so many students worrying about finding a unique college application essay that will set them apart right now. Application essay topics don't have to be unique. I don't mind if students write about something popular, whether it's an activity, academic interest, book, song. I just want to get insight into who they are. And that's what we're going to be working on today, helping you do exactly that. Give insight onto who you are, because that's really all you want to do. So how do you build that connection? How do you stick with the reader? Your job is to build bridges. So if you think about there's walls that separate you from other people and then bridges that connect. And that's what you want to do. You want to build bridges between you and the reader. You're building a human connection. It's showing vulnerability. It's showing your problem solving. It's showing that you're not afraid of failure and that you can learn from your failure. You're letting them in to you so that you can build a bridge. You're letting them connect with you. So how do we build those bridges? That's what we're going to be talking about today. Step 1, avoid accepted essays like hot lava. If you fill up your brain with essays that work, that you've read in books or online or seen on YouTube people talking about, you're going to get stuck inside your head about what you think a college essay should look like. And then you're going to try to make your essay fit that. And I read those essays all the time. And I'll be honest, they're really boring. So stay away from those. And also, you don't know if somebody's essay, just because they got into Harvard or Princeton or Stanford or Yale, you don't know if their essay helped them or not. They probably, most likely, got in not because of their essay. They probably got in because they had amazing grades and really cool extracurriculars and amazing letters of recommendation and multiple international and national level awards. Very rarely does the essay help somebody get in to a college, unless you're really able to explain some extraordinary life circumstances. So just be careful about that. Just because somebody got into a college, that you might want to attend doesn't mean their essay helped them. And I'm going to give you an example about that. You might have read it if you read my post, but my daughter was an amazing writer. She had won many national and state level writing awards by the time she applied to college. So when she applied to college, I didn't even think to ask her to see her essays, not that she would have shared them with me anyway, because she kind of just was very independent. But, we just assumed that they helped her get in, and she ended up getting into some really great colleges and attended Harvard. And later, when she got to go see her application, when she used the FERPA as a student at Harvard, she went and saw that they hated her essay, and they tore it up, and they were making comments about how she felt so full of herself, and full of herself, not full of herself, and how her essay was overblown. So be careful about that, about thinking that a kid who got into a college had the essay, and just because they got in there, that their essay is what worked. It might not have worked. It might have hurt them. And maybe they got in spite of their essay. So be careful with that. So I'm going to be talking to you about ways to get around that idea. So one of the things you're going to do, and we're not going to do this today, but this is something you should just be doing in general, and it's going to make your writing a lot better, is just to write a little bit for fun. Jot down a daily journal or your gratitudes. Don't worry about your grammar. Don't worry about trying to write in any certain way. Just get comfortable putting your words on a paper, on a screen. Writing on Reddit is great. Maybe even writing on Discord is great. Just get comfortable by writing your words and writing your words and writing your words and getting them from your head onto paper or a screen. That's the best way to kind of keep going with the writing. And that's just something to do in general for writing for you. So the next exercise is we're going to do one together. So I need you to go get a sheet of paper. And I should have told you this at the beginning. I'm sorry. But if you could go get a sheet of paper and a pen, or have a screen ready where you can just type really quickly, you're going to do this kind of fun exercise called I love, I value, and I believe. And I do this with all of my students. And it's just a way to get your brain moving. So I'm going to give you 30 seconds to go get something to write with. And you can tell me when you're ready. You can just pop it in the chat that you either have a screen to type on or something to write with. And I'm going to get my phone handy so I can time you. I don't know if it's been 30 seconds or not. Okay, Lena's ready. We'll go with that. Thanks, Lena. Anybody else ready? All right. And Eamon's ready. Cool. All right. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to have 1 minute. And during that 1 minute, I want you to write down as many things as you can that you love. Okay, just as many possible things that you can that you love, and try to get as many. We're just trying to get your brain open and moving. All right, so when I tell you to go, and I've got my timer up, and go. Write down as many things as you can that you love. All right, time's up. What can you please put in the chat as many as you want to share? The things that you loved, that you love. 5 or 6, 7, 10, however many you want to throw out there to share with us. Or just one? One thing? Okay. Cool. Let me share yours. I love music, poems, Halsey, Coldplay, Throne of Glass, The Good Wife, econ, math, walks with my family, hugging my mom, and pretending to be a baby. Cool, Mamta. Aussie, I love mountains, baking, cycling, hiking, public speaking. Those are awesome. Amen. I love cats, family, education, teaching English, YouTube, video games, writing, learning. Close friends, analyzing, creating, emotionally bonding, and music. Those are awesome. Those are really great things. Thank you so much for sharing. Okay, so the next one we're going to do is you're going to have 1 minute again. Oh, let me see, Lena. Okay, Lena, plants, space, astronomy, engineering, making things, physics, animation, making things with After Effects, the candy polo, good taste, pretty notebooks, pretty sunsets, and education. Those are excellent. Way to go, guys, that you're already starting that idea of letting somebody inside your head and sharing what's inside you. So the next one that we're going to do is what you value. Now, it's up to you to share, to decide whether you want to share what you value or, I'm sorry, take that away. It's up to you to decide the difference between what you value and what you love. So it's your interpretation. Now, this time I'm going to give you a choice. You can either write it straight into the chat, the things that you value for a minute, or you can write it down and then move it over to the chat, whatever you want to do. But if you want to write straight into the chat for what you value for 1 minute, you can. And I'm starting my timer and go. And time, stop. So if you wrote them in the chat, you can go ahead and share. If you want to just share a few now, if you wrote them down somewhere else, please do. I'd love to know what you value. And just I love to see how students interpret the difference between what they love and what they value. I always find that to be really interesting as you begin to open up even more. Amen. I value equal access to education, working with others, taking responsibility, and believing a better future is possible. Excellent. Even if you're just writing straight into the chat, you might want to take a minute just to think about those, or you can do it again on your own. But these are ways, like I'm already seeing the beginnings of some amazing essays just within these first two exercises. Mom, to value my family, freedom of expression, rationality, asking questions, looking at things from being and open to different perspectives. Amazing. Really great thoughts. Sven, I value close relationships, self-improvement, trust, and mutual understanding. Amazing. Good. IZ, I value family, support, honesty, balance, freedom, and opportunities. IZ, can you help me pronounce your name so I don't have it completely wrong? AR, I value advocacy and believing in one's voice, imperfection in an individual. I love essays about imperfection, by the way, and how past experiences can shape someone. Oh, those are amazing. Really good thoughts. Good. You guys are totally on your way already to getting into your head, thinking about what's important to you, what you love, what you want to be, and like how you want to be a person. And those are the kind of things colleges want to know about you. What kind of a person are you going to be on their campus? Who are you going to be with them? Okay, so we're going to do our last one. And the last one is going to be where you're going to write for 1 minute. You can write straight into the chat or on something else and then write over. It's totally up to you. But this is what you believe. Now, again, your interpretation about what the difference is between what you love, what you value, and what you believe. So you're going to have to think about that a little bit. And you're going to have 1 minute. And I'm going to tell you to go now. What you believe. And time. You could go ahead and share your beliefs with us if you feel like you want to share. That would be great. I love hearing what you have to say and what you think. I'm really impressed with how y'all can just like jump in and do this with my private students. We do it verbally because we're just one-on-one. And so they pretty much always make me go first. But I didn't take the time to do that with y'all because I wanted to hear what you all have to say. So. Anybody wants to share those, it would be great. All right, Mamta. I believe that it's important to engage with people who disagree with you. Interesting. That pineapple doesn't belong on a pizza. I'm not sure about that. We might have to have a conversation here. And that cats are witches in disguise. Okay, there's like 3 really interesting essays going on there. I believe any 3 of those could be amazing essay topics. I'll be honest with you. Lena, I believe in science, that a better future is possible, humanity, and myself. Lovely. That's great. Those are awesome. Okay, thank you, Aza. I'm pronouncing it correct. The first letter with A, I believe in the paradigms of my mind. Oh, I believe in the paradigm. Okay, thank you. I was like, how do I rhyme it with that? Okay, thank you. I believe in the paradigms in my mind. Excellent. That's interesting. I'd like to know more about that, the paradigms in your mind. I believe in seeing the good in people and being understanding, though not necessarily being forgiving. Oh, interesting. I'd like to know a little bit more about that. What does that mean? I believe that imperfections are what makes an individual endearing, and one's voice is their strongest tool. Excellent. Yeah, we got that imperfections again. Were you the one who talked about it before? Yeah, you did. Cool. So I'm seeing some themes with some of you that could be really interesting essays already. So what we're going to do now is we are going to walk over to, well, we're not going to walk over. We're going to move over to my other screen. I'm going to be sharing my other screen with you because I can't get to my links from here. But the next step is to do thisibelieve.org. Thisibelieve.org is a website that is filled with thousands and thousands and thousands of essays that are all personal essays. The reason I like to share these with you versus essays that worked is these were not written for college. So these were people truly just like letting themselves share their thoughts and feelings versus trying to like share someone that they think a college wants them to be. And that's why you can find different ones. I'm going to go share my other screen with you now. I'm going to hop over here. You probably can't read it really well, but the reason I'm doing this one is because I can get into the link. So I'm just going to share this link with you really fast. This is thisibelieve.org. We're not going to spend very long here, but I just want you to see it. There are thousands of essays on here. And you can just play around with them and see as many essays as you want. Let me get rid of that. Okay. And like look through essays, think about essays, read essays, listen to many of them. There's some really amazing essays. And there's also a lot of them that are written by younger people. Now, because there are thousands of essays there, I have picked a few of my favorites to share with you. And you have this in your resources, either in the big post on Reddit. Oh, it's called thisibelieve.org. Carly, can you type that down in there? www.thisibelieve.org. Now, I know you can't see this very well, but don't worry about that because I'm going to be taking you back to the website. So yeah, that's the website. And it's in all the resources that I've shared with you. If you didn't get the resources from me ahead of time, I'm going to tell you how to email me to get it, and then I'll share them all with you. All of these resources are on my Reddit post and in my Instagram blog post. Okay, so there's two. I picked about, I don't know, I've never counted them, probably about 13 or 14 of my favorite essays that you'll have there for you to kind of read through. I mean, there are a lot of them that are amazing, but these are just a few that I picked that are great. This is one of the ones that I think has really resonated with me and really resonates with a bunch of my students. And so I'm going to share it with you. And we're going to listen to it. I don't know if you'll be able to read it, but you can just listen to her because StreamYard is not great about showing text that's not on a slide for some reason. All right, but here it is. This essay was written by a 13-year-old. She was almost 14. She was not applying to college, so it was not written with the intent to apply to college, but she was trying to share something about her. I'm sorry you can't read it, so we can't analyze it, but I want you to listen and just see if you notice anything that makes you connect with her.
Ying Yu came to America from China. In grade school, at the ripe old age of 13,
I'm going to stop for a minute and make sure that you can hear it. Can you hear? Just say yes or no. If you could hear though talking. Okay. Yes. Okay, great.
She was grappling with what it came to America from China. In grade school, at the ripe old age of 13, she was grappling with what it means to be shaped by two cultures at once when she wrote this essay for her 8th grade social studies class in Princeton, New Jersey.
I am a good child, obedient. I grew up in China, a country where education is the center of every child's life, and a grade less than 85% is considered a failure. Grades mean more to us than a mother's smile. I had homework during lunch, math and language classes 2 times a day. There were punishments for not paying attention. I was beaten with a ruler, and I learned to do anything to get a good grade. I believe in duty, but that belief comes with sacrifice. The achievements I make come with a cost. I remember 1st grade, the red scarf flapping tantalizingly in the wind, and wanting more than anything to be the first one to wear it. That symbol of responsibility, excellence, and loyalty. The first thing that flashed to mind when I put it on was how glad my family would be, how proud the motherland would be of the child it had borne, and how my accomplishments would look on a college application. All my pride, love, self-esteem, they merged into duty. There have been times I wanted to throw away everything, but duty and obligation were always there to haunt me and to keep me strong. I would think, my parents and grandparents brought me up. My country gave me shelter. My teachers spent so much time building my foundations just to have me throw it all away. No, I can't do that. I must repay all that they have done. I must, I should, I have to. All those little phrases govern my life and the lives of many of my classmates. We struggle on because duty reminds us that the waiting success is not just for us. It's for our families, our heritage, and our country. I used to want to be a gardener. I like working outdoors, and the gritty feel of dirt was much more tangible than a bunch of flimsy words strummed together. But I can never grow up to be a gardener. Everything I've done so far points to the direction of becoming a lawyer. It's a job my family wholeheartedly supports. There is no other choice for someone who's been brought up by such a strict system, someone who has ambition. Here in America, there's almost a pressure to follow your dreams. I don't want any more dreams. Dreams are illusions. And it's too late for me to work towards another future, to let the foundations I've built go to ruins. I believe in the power of duty to impel. Only duty will offer me something true, something worthy of my efforts and the support of my family and country. Duty can bring me to an achievement that is greater than I am.
Okay.
Ying Yu came to America.
So I don't know if y'all can see this okay, but I wonder if you have any thoughts. First of all, can you just tell me, did you like the essay or not? And then second, I want you to think about, like, if you feel like you got to know her in any little way, did she let you in? Did you kind of know what she was thinking? It's heavy. Yeah, I agree. It's heavy. What makes it heavy to you, Sven? Mamta feels sad for her. Okay, so you kind of connected with her then. Yeah, I felt like it. So, if you feel sad for somebody, you are connecting with them in a way, right? You're having an emotion towards them, which kind of creates a connection. Amen. I like the essay. I connected with her on more than one level. Can you tell a little bit about how you connected? Sven, probably because I can relate. I can low-key relate. Ha ha. Yeah. And that's, so what's she doing there? But I can also relate at some felt level. I thankfully didn't experience that level of pressure, but I have experienced it. And that's what she did a really nice job of. She did a really nice job of building a connection. So, right away, she is building bridges between you and her. I did feel like I know a bit about her now. Now, I want to explore the language, and I'm sorry that you can't really see the essay, but I'm going to, as we're thinking about it, maybe if you can hear it or you can see it, did she use any words that let you know that she was letting you in her head? If you can see it, great. If not, maybe just remembering. If not, I'll try to talk you through it. Okay. Oh, y'all can see it. Great. It doesn't show up on my screen. A lot of I statements. Exactly. Yeah. A whole lot of I statements. Anything else that you've noticed? Any words that she used? I'm going to kind of point some out to you here. So I believe, right? I believe means when I say I believe, I'm automatically putting you in my head. Let's see. Yeah. So let's see. Amen wrote, the expectation her family has for her and the duty she bears is something I also go through. So you could totally relate, right? Mamta, a lot of my statements. So she says, I believe, right? And then I remember. When you say I remember, again, it's going right back in your head. All right, I'm going to take a little break here and say hello to Nathaniel. Hi, nice to see you. So glad you're here today. We're talking about the personal essay, which I know you don't need, but you know what? You always give great insight. So feel free to jump in and help out these kids. Happy to see you. And you'll have to tell us what's up with you in a little bit. Okay, so she said, I remember. And then this one I like a lot. The first thing that flashed to mind. So she's just jumping on, and in her mind, she's letting you into her mind and what has happening in here. And then she says, I would think, right? And then I really love this one when she says, I must, I should, I have to. Yeah, what she liked and what she wanted to do, Mamta says. And how many of us have this with little repeating phrases going through our head, right? I must, I should, I have to. To me, even though I'm a grown up, I'm not a kid, I can totally relate to that. Like, I get that. And I promise you, some 25 to 35-year-old admissions reader, because that's about how old most of them are that are reading your applications, can relate to that. They all have those experiences of what they have. And then I used to want to be, again, in her thought, in her head, and then back and again, and the I believe. So that's kind of what I wanted you to be showing and thinking about, how she let you inside. She does have some anecdotes, but she doesn't spend the whole time with an anecdote. She's giving us some commentary and some analysis about her thinking. Now I'm going to show you another one that's very, very different. And it's called There's No Such Thing as Too Much Barbecue. I'm from Texas, so like barbecue is a big deal here. And so even if you're not really into barbecue, I want you to kind of look at the technique he used. His essay would not work for a college essay as well as hers would, but it's got a really cool technique. And if you're stuck as a writer, if you're a person who doesn't like to write, or you're a super stimmy person and you want to just like have a formula, this formula can work for you if you really want it to. And so I'm going to share this one with you now. Okay. Hopefully we won't have any trouble hearing this one also.
Jason Sheehan is a food
Can you hear it
critic.
okay, Carly?
He heard our series on his car radio and told us he liked the concept because for many people, belief is just a nebulous clutter of half-held convictions. But the process of putting them down on paper helps cement those few things a person truly believes, the core of a principled life. He also noted that the object of his belief was sitting on the seat next to him in 2 plastic bags.
After listening to the results of this project for several weeks, I knew I could do 3 minutes too. Certainly not on world peace, or the search for meaning in an increasingly distracted world, or anything as grave and serious as all that, but on a belief just as true. I believe in barbecue, as soul food and comfort food and health food, as a cuisine of both solace and celebration. When I'm feeling good, I want barbecue, and when I'm feeling bad, I just want barbecue more. I believe in barbecue in all its regional derivations, in its ethnic translations, in forms that range from white tablecloth presentations of cunningly sauced costillas to Chinese takeout spare ribs that stain your fingers red, to the most authentic product of the tar paper rib shacks of the Deep South. I believe that like sunshine and great sex, no day is bad that has barbecue in it. I believe in the art of generations of pitmen working in relative obscurity to keep alive the craft of slow smoking as it's been practiced for as long as there's been fire. A barbecue cook must have an intimate understanding of his work, the physics of fire and convection, the hard science of meat and heat and smoke, and then forget it all to achieve a sort of gut-level Zen instinct for the process. I believe that barbecue drives culture, not the other way around. Some of the first blows struck for equality and civil rights in the Deep South were made not in the courtrooms or schools or on buses, but in the barbecue shacks. There were dining rooms, backyards, and roadhouse juke joints in the South that were integrated long before any other public places. I believe that good barbecue requires no decor, and that the best barbecue exists despite its trappings. Paper plates are okay in a barbecue joint, and paper napkins, and plastic silverware, and I believe that any place with a menu longer than can fit on a single page, or better yet, just a chalkboard, is coming dangerously close to putting on airs. I believe that good barbecue needs sides the way good blues need rhythm, and that there is only one rule. Serve whatever you like, but whatever you serve, make it fresh. Have someone's mama in the back doing the taters and the hush puppies and the sweet tea, because mama will know what she's doing, or at least know better than some assembly line worker bagging up powdered mashed potatoes by the ton. I believe that proper barbecue ought to come in significant portions. Skinny people can eat barbecue, and do, but the kitchen should cook for a fat man who hasn't eaten since breakfast. My leftovers should last for days. I believe that if you don't get sauce under your nails when you're eating, you're doing it wrong. I believe that if you don't ruin your shirt, you're not trying hard enough. I know there is no such thing as too much barbecue. Good, bad, or in between, old-fashioned pit-smoked or high-tech and modern, it doesn't matter. Existing without gimmickry, without the infernal swindles and capering of so much of contemporary cuisine, barbecue is truth. It is history and home, and the only thing I don't believe is that I'll ever get enough.
Jason.
All right. Who can tell me what the technique he used is? What did he do to kind of like structure his essay and to let you into his thinking? Yeah, it's a great essay, Nathaniel. I agree. Yep. It's one of my favorites, but I'm from Texas, so. A nice use of contrast at the end. Okay. Let's see. All right. I like that. Yeah. What do you notice just looking at the structure if you can see it? Just look. What do you see? Very descriptive. Yep. It sure is. And he uses his description to talk about how barbecue represents his values, right? Like you can kind of learn about his values. He's, he's kind of a casual person. He doesn't like fancy stuff. He's a proponent of the civil rights movement, and he can talk about that. And he's using he's using barbecue as a representative. A lot of chunking. Yeah, Eamon, can you describe that more? I'm going to put your thoughts up here. Okay, so we have a nice use of contrast at the end by Sven. Yes, I believe, a lot of I believe, right? Every single paragraph, I believe, 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 right? And then at the end, the only thing I don't believe, right? So the only thing I don't believe is it'll ever get enough. This structure can work. I was reading somebody's thoughts. Can work as a college essay. I have seen it work. You pick your main belief, and then you can just kind of chunk it together and use it as a description, which is what Mamta says. And Eamon says a lot of chunking. So he takes his thoughts and he kind of chunks it together in different ways. Exactly. It's like a lot of thoughts kind of thrown together, more like a fusion or a collage than a narrative. You don't have to have a narrative for your college essay, because remember, it's more about you inside. It's about what you think about, what you care about. And as long as we're in your head and we can learn about you, that's all that matters. The I believes, yeah. Separating the essay into multiple paragraphs where each one demonstrates an idea. Exactly. He kind of takes it through, thinking about like his beliefs and his various beliefs, and then how they fit into his barbecue and his feelings about barbecue. Excellent. Now I'm going to go back here to this one. So this one, you can see I have a bunch of my favorites on there. I actually really love all of them. I can't even suggest one more than another. Some of them are written by teenagers. Some of them were written by adults. I will tell you some of my favorites: The Power of Hello, Fry Bread, Tomorrow Will Be a Better Day. Actually, I really like all of them. The Real Me, Find a Good Frog. They're all good. I highly recommend just taking a walk and listening to them, or just like sitting around and reading them if you prefer to read than listen, and just kind of like thinking about how they're kind of sharing who they are within. We're not going to go through them all today, but those are there for you. And if you don't have the resources, that's fine. So the next thing we're going to do, and I'm going to jump back over now to this slideshow. Let me see if I can hide that. Go to this one. Okay. So the next thing we're going to do now is we're going to bump into the personal essay prompts. And I want you to think about, can I move that? The personal essay prompts that you have. And so these are the personal essay prompts for this year. And we're going to talk a little bit about the two essays that we just listened to and how they could fit into here. But what I want you to do now is analyze what they're really asking you. The most important thing, though, I have to tell you about the personal essay prompts is you do not have to pick one. You do not have to answer one. What you can just write, and I suggest you just write the essay that tells about who you are, and then pick the prompt that fits it the best. But if you need the prompt, cool, you can use it. Just be sure that you're thinking about what's really important. Some students have a background, identity, interest, or talent that is so meaningful, they believe their application would be incomplete without it. If this sounds like you, please share your story. So background, identity, interest, talent, meaningful, believe. Do you think either one of those essays could have worked for this one? Either the duty essay or the barbecue could work for number 1. Any thoughts about that? And honestly, I feel like either one of those could. Either one of those could have picked number 1 because Jason's talking about his interest, barbecue. It's super meaningful to him, and his application would be, yeah, for sure. And the duty one too, because it's her background. So she's kind of talking about her background. So I think either one of those could work. So number 2, the lessons we take from obstacles we encounter can be fundamental to later success. Recount a time when you faced a challenge, setback, or failure. How did it affect you, and what did you learn? If you're going to talk about obstacles in your essay, make sure that you are talking about your personal growth, that you were talking about, if you talk about failure, awesome. Colleges love to know that you have learned from failure. They don't want kids on their college campuses who have never experienced failure, because then you fall apart when you experience failure on college. They want to know that you have experienced failure and you have learned from that experience. So if you have some failure or obstacle that you want to talk about, that's fantastic. Just make sure most of your essay is about that growth. Most of your essay is about what you have learned and how you have overcome. Number 3, reflect on a time when you questioned or challenged a belief or idea. What prompted your thinking and what was the outcome? I feel like the duty one could come here. She did question that belief that she was being raised with, and then she decided to go with it, right? She didn't completely separate. But again, the word reflect is super important. That's what's in your head. So it's not just telling the story. It's what did you think about it? What did you learn about yourself? How did you grow from that experience? Number 4, reflect. Again, that word, reflect, is inside you on something that is done for you that has made you happy or thankful, or someone has done for you that has made you happy or thankful in a surprising way. How has this gratitude affected or motivated you? So that could work. I wish I could make that go away. No? Okay. Discuss an accomplishment, event, or realization that sparked a period of personal growth and a new understanding of yourself. So again, talking about personal growth, new understanding. And this is discuss a topic, idea, or something I can't see because I've got this behind me, but why does it captivate you? And this could totally be the barbecue one too, right? It could work here. And then number 7 is any topic that you want to talk about. But just make sure it's about you, because really it doesn't matter which prompt you pick. The topic is you, and the topic is inside you, the narrator version, the one that's thinking, the one that's analyzing, the one that can give commentary, the one that is reflecting, the one that is thinking about lessons learned, not just the one that's experiencing all the cool stuff you do on the outside you, but the inside you. So if you think about narrated shows where they kind of get into the head of the characters, that's what you want to share. So as you're kind of learning, so your next step, and we're getting to this kind of just, and this is going to be on your own without me, is to go within. So your essay needs to be about inner you. So you've done all this work to kind of get things bubbling and working, and you're starting to peel off your onion layers, find your inner Shrek. You're going to really dig in deep, and you're going to start thinking about what it is that you want the readers to know about you. And so now we're going to be doing some little brainstorming questions really quick. I'm going to have to move over to my other slideshow. Add to stream. Okay, brainstorming questions. And I'm just going to ask you, actually, I'm going to not share this time. I'm going to remove it. And it's just going to be me. And now I'm just going to ask you some questions. And I want you to just write your answers just really quickly. And just 1-word answer, 2-word answers, 3-word answers. It really doesn't matter. Those of you in college with us, join in. Love to hear what you have to say. What's an object that people associate with you? What's an object that people associate with you? cat, plants, makeup. Cool. Good. Anybody else want to add to that one? Stuffed animals. Oh, I like that. Okay, moving on to the next one. What is something you never leave home without besides your telephone? Besides your phone, what do you never leave home without? Amen. I'm not sure if that's what you never leave home without or if that's your object people associate with you or not, but good choice either way. A book. I love it. Sunscreen, wallet, a bottle. Hi, Tanmay. So is that like a water bottle? Sunscreen. Interesting. Hoodie. Okay. I read a really good essay about a hoodie once, actually. All right. What's a book you love? What's a book you love? Good choice. Okay. Stormlight Archive. I've never heard of that one. I'm going to have to look that up. I've also never heard of this one. Anxious People. I'm going to look that one up too. Good choice. Sure. Yeah, go ahead. Mom told you write more. Kill and Be Killed. Cersei. I haven't read that yet. I really want to. You guys, we've got some book lovers here. I love that. That's great. All right, I'm moving on to the next one. I know that you guys are still thinking about your books, but that's okay. Let's see. What are you willing to fight for? While y'all are thinking about what you're willing to fight for, I'm going to show up Monta's books. Monta's books. Aha. Yes. Very familiar with Brandon Sanderson. He took over the Robert Jordan books that my daughter was obsessed with and still is. I'm going to look up the Shiva trilogy. Oh, the question. What are you willing to fight for? I'm sorry. I know I'm moving fast. Okay, cool. Feminism and equity in general. Great. Starting to see some real good essays about feminism lately and some good thoughts about that. I've enjoyed those. Yeah, Nathan, Wheel of Time. Yeah, she's really into that. Change perception that introverts can't function as a leader. I totally agree. Right to education, women's rights, gender equality, queer rights. Cool. Good. Yeah, that's great. Anybody else have what they're willing to fight for? And you guys are from all over the world. That's awesome. These are great things to be fighting for from all over the world. Then you're having a hard time thinking about what you want to fight for. That's okay. You know what? You're letting me inside your head just by even saying that. Just by saying you're having a hard time with it is letting me in. Also, I'm going kind of quick and there's a lot going on. So you can come back and think about these on your own later, right? It's okay. I got bad connection. Change in my country's education system. People my age can do what adults can do. All right. Great. Okay, that's great. I'm moving on to the next question. So the next question is, if you could have any superpower, what would you want your superpower to be? If you could have any superpower, what would you want your superpower to be? That's nice, Mamta. You would fight for that, right? That wouldn't be your superpower. I think that was something you would fight for. But I'll say this one again. If you could have any superpower, what would you want your superpower to be? Time travel. Good one. Read people's minds. Take those of you who've already written down what you want your superpower to be, take a minute to tell me why. Like, what would you do with that superpower? Mind reading, again. Mind reading, time travel, mind reading. Be Elsa. So what does Elsa do? Does she freeze things or she lets them go, right? Like I have to say that I think I have seen it. I remember the song, but like I don't remember what her superpower was. Or does she have one? Shape shifting. I'd love to know what you would do with that. I don't care if I get my feelings hurt. If you're mind reading, okay. Time traveler, the ability to fly into space. I actually once read a really great essay about mind reading. I have to tell you, like this person was saying like all the things that would be really cool about being able to read minds and how that could like really help them as a student leader to kind of understand what people were doing, but also how like it could also be really harmful because maybe they're, people have private thoughts that they shouldn't know. There's still a lot of great ones here. Let's see. Access to super high medicine for treatment of rare diseases. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, so this is the mind reading. You want to know if they actually liked you as a person, but there's some danger there, right? So Mamta, you're trans, so you just transition if you could shapeshift. Yeah, wouldn't that make it being trans so much easier if you could just like automatically shapeshift and get to be what you want? Let's see. Teleportation. What would you do with that? I'd love to know more. The time travel, you can basically do whatever you want because you can easily become rich, avoid death, experience interesting events in the past and the future, anything. Can you see any downsides to that, Nathan? Haha, she has ice-based abilities, but I'd love to be able to sing like her. Yeah, that'd be cool. Really conscious about how I'm perceived is for which I'm always on edge whenever I meet new people. I can never distinguish if a person admires me or they're just pretending. The power of reading minds would be helpful there. Yeah. Let's see. Same. As a space nerd, I would love to explore space. My dream career is to be an astronomer. That could be an interesting essay, by the way. If talk about how you would do, like if you could go explore on your own. Time travel explores me, confuses me though. Like there's such a paradox there. Me too. I've never really understood time travel. And I don't know. Okay. I think that's a correction. Well, you could be practically immortal, which is bad. You'd get bored eventually. Yeah, probably true. Right. I agree. Okay, those are all great thoughts. And I will tell you, I've read some really cool essays just where a kid just like started going off on like what they could do. If they could have like their own if they could create their own, what am I talking about? Okay, somebody help me here. What did I just ask you? Time travel. Cool. I've just like totally blanked out. Else's power. Oh, superpower. Thank you. I needed the word power. Yeah. So, okay. I've got a lot of good things here. You have to change places so frequently you're immortal. I want to know this one. Have y'all heard about the grandpa paradox? I have not. You guys have so many great ideas. Butterfly flight can make. Thank you. Superpower, power. Somebody wanted to try to travel. Yeah, we just digressed. Yeah, I know. I just totally got off and forgot what I was doing. Okay, so next question. This next question is going to be, what is your secret sauce? So this is the one you really have. This is like your real power, your real superpower. What's the secret sauce? What makes you you? What's your secret sauce? What makes you you? Personality and varied interest. Cool. Can you narrow that down a little bit, Nathaniel? Be a little more specific. I'm really bold. I don't care if you're the president or the pope. I'll never shake away from speaking the truth or raising my voice when needed. That's truly the beginning of an amazing essay. I love that. My ability to listen and comfort. I'm basically a therapist to my friends, my sister, and my partner. Also, again, that right there could be the beginning of an essay, like how like letting me get to know you and the kind of student you're going to be on the campus. Caring about people and others deeply. But I feel like a bad person when I do that for myself. Oh, what an amazing thing to admit to yourself, Eamon. And I could see an essay there about like what you have learned about yourself then and how you're trying to work on that, to care, do the self-care. Willingness to care for people and help them. Nice. We have a lot of really caring people here. Having a hard time with this one. I'm inclined to type objects I love, but I'm pretty sure I would survive without them. Interesting. Okay. My interest in physics, math, Spanish, and then how people interact with others. I believe how people interact with others is unique, and therefore everyone has that to state. Yeah, cool. I like that. You guys have some amazing interest in your insight into yourselves. I really hope you share that with the people who are reading your essays. Okay, I'm going to ask you 2 more questions, and then we're going to go practice a little bit with the most dangerous writing app. It's kind of scary. All right, what's hard? That's your question. That's your next question. What's hard? What's difficult? Yeah, balancing school, clubs, job prep. Yeah, that's just balancing is hard. I hope that you include in that balancing. I hope you're including self-care, mental health, wellness, exercise. Yes, staying in the present, right? We're always thinking about our future or like fretting about something in the past, and just being here in the now is super hard. Yeah. Sitting for an exam, my greatest fear is sitting for an exam next to death. Okay, I don't quite understand. Oh, it's like your next to death, your next greatest fear is sitting for an exam. Wow. Okay. Being forgiving towards myself. My inner voice is usually a military commander shouting at myself when I mess up. Yeah. Okay. So learning how to grow from that, learning about how to be forgiving towards yourself is a huge thing to work on, right? And kind of knowing that like you're not going to be able to help all those people that you want to help if you don't take care of yourself. It's kind of the oxygen mask on first thing, like they talk about in the airport. All right, moving to the next question. What's easy? This was a hard one. Wanting a better future for myself at the cost of losing the people I love the most. Oh, yeah. I can imagine. Okay. Next and last question today is what's easy? classes. Good for you, freshman in college. That's nice. Math. Lucky. Procrastinating like there's no tomorrow. I love that. I can be the queen of procrastination too. I feel you there. Okay. So, yes. Mamta agrees. All right. So now we're going to jump on. I'm going to show you this other screen. This one real quick. So this is the list. It has 84 questions on it. I suggest taking like 25 to 30 of them and just kind of rapid fire doing them, jump around, just to kind of get your brain going, your brain thinking about you and like what's cool with you. It's quite all right. It's quite all right to be having a hard time. There's a lot of questions going on here. And sometimes some people just need to kind of do this on their own, away from other people. And this is all going to be there available for you. So these questions are there for you. Now I'm going to stop sharing that. I just wanted you to see them. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go to the most dangerous writing app. Okay, we have one more. What was easy? Comparing myself to everyone around me. That's a hard thing to do. So the most dangerous writing app, I am going to go back here so I can show it to you. Okay, add to stream. Okay, and you will have the link to this, and I'm going to tell you to go to it. I'm going to put this here in the chat. You're going to have to copy and paste it because it won't let me just link. But so the most dangerous writing app is an amazing, amazing writing tool. If you don't get anything else out of this live stream workshop today, learning to use the most dangerous writing app. Oh, I didn't put it in there yet. There we go. Learning to use the most dangerous writing app will probably be the biggest game changer for you out of all of it. Here's what is so cool with it. While you pick the amount of time you want to write, we're going to pick 3 minutes today. So go ahead and log on to there if you can. And you're going to pick 3 minutes. So, and you want to pick hardcore mode. Okay, now here's what makes writing with the most dangerous writing app so crazy with hardcore mode is that frequently when you're writing on here, you're going to really like what you write because some of us do really well with pressure. Some of us don't, but some of us do. And the reason why you're going to do really well with pressure is especially for those of you who procrastinate, you need pressure, is because it makes your brain work. If you don't do well with pressure, maybe this won't work for you. But if you do well with pressure, it's going to work. So you're going to start writing with the prompt. Oh, that is a random thought. That's funny. The YouTube chat has a greater character limit than the Common App activities description. Interesting. Yes, it does. And I'm going to have a whole live stream and workshop on the Common App activities. Okay, so go ahead and get here. You're going to have 3 minutes to write. If you stop writing at any moment during this time, you're going to lose everything you write. If you don't have time to get onto here right now and you just want to write, that's fine. So you're going to have 3 minutes, and then I want you to, hello, slow times. I want you to write as much as you can. And those 3 minutes, I'm going to give you a topic. Tell me when you're ready. And then I'm going to start you all. Hello, McCormick Galden. I'm going to give you 30 seconds, and then I'm going to just make you all be ready, and you're going to have 3 minutes to write. You can just write on your computer if you want to. I don't think you can write into the chat, though, because it won't give you that much space. Maybe it will. You can write into the chat if you want. Try it. All right. You're going to have 3 minutes to write. I'm going to put my timer on, or you can go do it on the most dangerous writing apps. And here we go. This topic is, if you could have any superpower, what would it be and what would you do with it? And go. Any superpower. You're going to write. We did a lot of talking about superpowers, Athens. So you're going to write about the superpower. And you can write on the Most Dangerous Writing app. You can hit start writing with prompt, or you can just do it on your computer anywhere, or you can go ahead and write into the chat. Just write. No worries, Eamon. Can you write into the chat? All right, stop. If you were writing in the chat, go ahead and share it with us. If you were writing on the Most Dangerous Writing app or something else, see if you can copy and paste and put it in the chat so we can all read what you wrote. I'm not sure how much it'll let you put in there. Let me know if you were able to use the Most Dangerous Writing app. I'm kind of curious. If you didn't try it now, I definitely want you to try it later because it's really cool and it'll make you kind of excited about writing because you have to like compete with yourself. Let's see if is anybody going to share or not? I don't want to keep waiting if you're not going to. Oh, but somehow, yeah, okay, that can happen because you got to copy and paste it really fast to somewhere else. If you stop. Okay, so now you kind of like figured out what happened with the Most Dangerous Writing app. If you kind of like don't keep writing and don't use it within that first 3 minutes, then you're going to lose it. So I hope you're going to take the time. If you liked what you wrote, I hope you're going to take your time to write it somewhere else. Yeah, it's dangerous. Oh, it does let you copy, I think. Maybe it's not. It should let you copy because usually we copy it. And oh, there we go. If I could have any superpower, I would have the ability to read minds. I'll just share this. Why am I not sharing? There we go. If I could have any If I could have any superpower, I would have the ability to read minds. I'm very conscious about how people perceive me. So I would like to use my mind reading. Good. Nice way to go. Anybody else have anything they want to share? I'll wait for like 30 more seconds and then we're going to move on to the next thing. Yeah, so the Dangerous Writing app does let you copy, but you might have to play around with it a little bit to figure that out because my students do that. You can't copy, you can export as a format. Yeah, we always copy it. To use my mind reading to understand how people actually view me. So let's see. Oh, wow, it kept going. Not only that, but also I think it'll come really handy when I'm consoling people. Nice. Okay, so some of you had trouble copying. We do always, when I do it with my students, we always copy it and then put it over into a Google Doc. So I'm not sure why you're having trouble. Just play with it in the phone. Okay. Since I'll have a better idea of what they're going through. Nice. I like that. All right. And then you might want to like go on and expand more about that. But you could also talk about your special sauce, what's hard, what's easy. But I definitely recommend like after you do those 3 questions, I mean, after you do like the 25 or 30 of the 85 questions, then come over, pick 3 of them, whichever ones you want, and do them on the Most Dangerous Writing app. Oh, got more. And if I'm having a serious talk with someone, I can use my mind reading abilities to make sure I'm getting my points across and that there are no misunderstandings. Wow, did you get all of that down in 3 minutes, Sven? That's impressive. That's a lot of writing in 3 minutes. Okay, so slay. There you go. Let's go back here. So we've done that. We've done that. And now here we are at this one. This is where you are. So now that you've gotten all these thoughts going, you've like been thinking and thinking and thinking, kind of getting inside your head. Now you need to just like give your brain some time to simmer. So take a long walk, take a long shower, spend time away from screens, right? Like really just spend some time away from your screens so that you can just think and shower and like let your brain simmer and talk. Let's see. Let me see what this is. I don't know. It seems like a serious breach of privacy to me, though. Can you explain that? Oh, the mind reading. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, I agree with you. I think there is some issue there. All right. Ha, ha, ha. Okay. So you're going to spend time away from your screens, just letting your brain draft, and then you're going to write a shitty first draft. Do not wait until you feel like you have a perfect essay in your head before you start writing your drafts. You can write an outline, but do not wait till you think it's all. Your first draft is supposed to be really bad. That's the purpose of it, to write a really bad draft so that you can work on it and make it better. So don't wait until like, I get kids asking me all the time, I think I'm going to write about this and this and this and this, and then I'm going to do this and this and this and this. And I'm like, is that a good idea? I'm like, I don't know, write it. Like, then we'll read it and then we'll talk about it. And then we'll see if it's going to be good or not. But until you've written it, there's no way to know. So just like write something really shitty. Like it's okay. And that link there, which I can't link on here, but you have it, is a document about shitty first drafts and what they mean and like why they're so important to the process of writing. And then you write your essay. So remembering that your job is to build a connection with your reader, remembering that they will read your essays very, very, very quickly. So clarity and focus on inner you are essential from the get-go, the letting in. And Mamta, you have a good point. I have real trouble starting though. So that's why that Most Dangerous Writing app can be very helpful to you. Just picking a few of those questions and just answering them. You got to get your brain unlocked a little bit. It takes me hours to figure out my first sentence. That's such a good point, and I'm glad you brought that up. Forget about the first sentence. Seriously, forget about the first sentence. Some of the best essays I've read either start in the middle of a story or they just start with, I believe, blah, and then they go. Like, forget about your first sentence for now. You can always come back and redo that. Your first sentence does not have to be the first sentence you write. Your first sentence can be the last sentence you write. And yeah, it can take a long time to start. That's why all this work is so essential to get in your brain, to get your juices flowing, to get yourself thinking. And now it's going to be really essential that you take this brain and you take a walk, that you take a shower. If it's bedtime, you go to bed, and then tomorrow you take a break and you allow yourself just to think. I want to write about how writing my comic helped me deal with my shyness and led me into public speaking as I got older. Cool. That sounds great to me. Write it. And then you're going to revise. And then I'm going to do a whole workshop and maybe live stream. I haven't decided if I'm going to live stream or not, but definitely a workshop about how to revise your essays in a few weeks. So be on the lookout for that. If you email me this email address, why is it capitalized? admissionsmom a2c@gmail.com. I will be sending you updates about things, about like any other workshops I'm going to be doing specifically about writing, or any others about the activities also. So email me there and you'll kind of get on my mailing list, and then I'll send stuff to you. Also email me there. And if you want me to review your essay because you came to this workshop, I'll be happy to review your essay with a 5-minute essay review. So that will, I'm sorry, I'm reading comments at the same time as I'm talking. And I'll come back and answer your comments in a minute. If you email me at admissionsmoma2c@gmail.com, I will put you on my mailing list. Then you'll get my updates. And also, if you're interested in having me do a 5-minute essay review for you for free, just let me know and I'll send you all my guidelines, because I do have quite a few guidelines in order to review your essay that I require you to do. Okay, let me just make sure I've gotten through I'm through all my slides. I'm going to stop sharing and I'm going to come back up here and answer questions. So let's see. Okay, let's go up here. I want to write about how writing my comic helped me deal with my shyness and led me into public speaking as I got older. Slow times, that's great. I don't know if you were here at the beginning where we talked about how like you're going to have to really get inside your head and be thinking about like sharing with them, not just like the outside story of what that happened, but like how you learned and grew from it with a lot of reflection. So you might want to go back over the rest of it just to make sure the rest of this live stream, or at least my resources, just to make sure that you're really getting into the inside of you. But for sure, go for it. Write about it. Write that shitty first draft. See how it feels. Do AOs, the admissions officers, mind if the comics content might be a little adult oriented? I think it probably depends on what they are. If it's like pornographic, yeah, I wouldn't use it. I wouldn't talk about it. You can talk about reading comics, but I wouldn't like mention something that was somewhat pornographic. Lena, the most dangerous writing app is very helpful. The panic somehow made my brain and fingers flow. Yeah, if you are a procrastinator, for sure, it will work. Let's see. Deal with some heavy stuff occasionally. For sure. I think that it will, it kind of depends on the heavy stuff and what it is. And if you want to email me specifically about it, I'll be happy to kind of give you my opinion. You can do it that admissionsmoma2c@gmail.com address. Let's see. Your content stream seems helpful when I have time. It's nearly midnight right now. I'll definitely watch the entire stream. Thank you for the good work. Thanks for joining us. I know you guys are awesome. I had to get up early to do this. It is midnight right now. Okay. More like racism and violence. I think that's probably okay, as long as it's not glorifying it and talking about it in a positive way. And Nathaniel says, thank you. Okay. Last minute questions. Anybody else have questions you want to ask me about your personal essay? Live in a lower income area, so most of it is inspired from life experiences, gang violence. Okay, I think it could be interesting. And then you'll have to talk about what you've learned about it. Yes, you can email me your essay for review. Oh, okay, good question. So before you email your essay for a review, email me and ask me for the guidelines to review it, because I have specific guidelines in order to review it. And I want to be able to like have you just be able to do that before you can do that. Okay. So email me, ask me for the guidelines for personal essay review. I'll send them to you. You follow those. It's more like how to format it and stuff like that, but it really helps. It helps me to have them all formatted in the right way so that I can read them quickly. I read a lot of essays on the weekends. So if I'm reading so many, it helps to have them formatted easily so I don't have to like jump my head around. Let's see. Can I send a short summary of what I want to write about to you? Yes, you can. And I will respond. But I am also going to kind of encourage you to just write it. Let your brain get going, let your brain get rolling, and then just write it instead of trying to summarize it. But yes, I'd be happy for you to send me a short summary. Okay. I'd have to email you. That's fine. Feel free to do that. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming. Oh man. Well, you can watch it now. I hope the SAT went well yesterday. Let's see. I joined near the end of the stream. Where can I find the document with all the brainstorming questions? So if you email me at that admissionsmoma2c@gmail.com, I'll send you all the documents that I use for the whole stream. That way, if you watch the stream again, you can have the documents on hand right in front of you. I think that's probably the easiest way. But if you look up at the very beginning of the comments, let's see, Carly, can you go get it? The one that has the comment that you'd have to copy and paste to get to the Google Doc. Let's see. Where can I find the guidelines? You'll have to email me from them if they're not in that. Let's see. A couple of friends and I were followed by a game once after winning an international level tournament. We went out to dinner. I think it would be like what you learned from it. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. What did you learn from that event? And how did it make you feel about things? This is the Google Drive. You can copy and paste that. Carly just put it back in there. Wrote about my dad who passed away. I'd say 99% of the essay is reflection. Is that going to be okay? Yes, it's definitely okay. Now, I do often suggest, as long as the essay is about you, this can be the tricky part. If the essay needs to be about you and how you've grown, what you learned, for sure, you can write about that. You also might want to write about that, put that essay in your additional information, because it's probably important information for them to understand about you. But you could write that in your additional information essay, and then you could write another essay in the personal essay that's about another aspect of you if you want. You don't have to, but you certainly could. And I've seen students do that really effectively. When you say, I wrote about my dad who passed away, that can be tricky because the essay has to be about you. So make sure the essay is about you and how you grew, what you learned, the effects on you of dealing with your father's death. And by the way, I'm very sorry that you've experienced that at such a young age. I lost my mom when I was 50, and I felt like that was way too young for me and way too young for her. So I'm sorry about that. And I hope that his memory brings you many blessings. The additional info can definitely be an essay. Yeah, it sure can. You get 650 words. It can be bullet points if you want it to be, but it can also be an additional essay, or it can be a combo of an essay and bullet points. You can use the additional information however you want, as long as it's information that you feel like the colleges need to know about you in order to really accurately and adequately understand you and understand your application and what you're sharing with them. All right. Any other questions about the essay that you might want to ask me before we jump off today? Thank you all for hanging with me so long today. Those of you who hung around the whole time. I was only expecting this to be an hour, but yeah, sometimes they go more than that. Okay, I think we're going to go ahead and end it today. Thank you all for being here with me. Carly, you want to jump back on? Carly has been here the whole time helping me out. I really appreciate that, Carly. And thank you all for being here. You can email me at thatadmissionsmom826@gmail.com. And if you want questions, essay review, links to these sites. And Carly, thank you for being here and helping me out. I really appreciate it. Any last minute thoughts?
I think this went really great. Thank you all for coming today, especially if you're in the Discord. I saw a lot of you commenting and jumping in, so it was fun to see you.
You guys were awesome. I love the way you were so interactive, and go enjoy your Sunday evening, Monday, whatever time it is for you in whatever area of the world you're in. That was fantastic. I hope to see you again when we talk about revising essays, when we talk about supplemental essays, and when we talk about how to write your activities on the Common App. All of those are coming up in the next month or so. So I'm going to jump off for now. Thank you all, and see you later. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye, everybody. And I'm going to end podcast.